You're watching 24/7 Live Culture.
What's up, family? Back with another dope episode of BoomBox Weekly. I'm your host, Omar Cook. We got a dope special for you. A legendary artist coming all the way from Lafayette, Louisiana. My man, Cupid, man. What's going on, brother?
Good to be here, man. Always appreciative to be on the platform, man, for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uh, your accolades speak for themselves. Millions of views, millions of followers. You swept the nation with your major hit, Cupid Shuffle. This is something that we all grew up on. It's at every black,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Right. That has to feel amazing to know that you created something that inspired not only a generation, but generations.
It's cool, man. Shuffle came out a long time ago, and for a long time I've advocated for music that brings people together, and with the assistance of social media and so many other elements, man. Line dancing is probably the most popular music out right now. So it's just cool to see, man. I've advocated it for so long, and for it now to be so popular, it's really, 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 really like a full circle moment.
Absolutely. So let's take that back to like the beginning of your journey. How did you get started with music? What was your spark?
Well, I started off singing in church, of course, man, and then when I got to college, I kind of started getting into like talent shows and stuff, and I used to sing with some of my homeboys out of Ruston, Louisiana. So that kind of was where it is, man. Doing them acapellas and Omegas got Dig Week, Kappas got Dig Week, Deltas got Dig Week, and they would look for entertainment or stuff like that. I became really known for like doing the entertainment for people on campus, and then that kind of spawned into us attempting to get a record deal. And once all my homeboys left Lafayette, I was on my own. So I just picked up where, I left off and just started doing music because eventually, man, I could never hold a job.
Yeah.
So I knew I was either singing at somebody's wedding or at a funeral. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Or like doing little band shows locally. So I knew music was what I was gonna do. I
Yeah.
just didn't know exactly at that time what direction to take, but I knew music was gonna be it for sure.
So you actually played sports while you were in college as well. That was another
Yeah.
of your passions. What made you decide to say, I want to give up this passion? Because it takes a lot to play college football. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah.
dedication. So to be able to really step away from that and to really pursue music, you had to have a lot of faith in your talents there.
Well, man, so I was a track guy, man, and honestly, I just kind of came to the fact that like I was gonna never get in the nines. I was running like 10-7, 10-6 in high school. Then I got down to like 10-5, 10-4 in college, but that ain't hitting on nothing on the
Right, right,
professional level,
right,
bro. you know,
right.
it was hot. It was hot outside, and of course, I enjoyed it, man. But it was like music was really just dominating. You know what I'm saying? And when I was running track, we got approached by this guy by the name of Roland Edison, and he
Yeah.
wanted to take us out to get us signed. And we had to make a decision. He was like, "Man, y'all have to come on the road." So I ended up quitting track and to try to pursue my music.
Wow, wow, that's huge. That's so inspirational for people that's out there that have to make major decisions in their careers on what to do and what route. And that's a story of chasing your passions and following your dreams there, which has led you to major success today.
Yeah, yeah, man. At the time, it seemed crazy because it's like, yo, he quit, you quitting. My coach was going crazy and everything, but I had to do what felt best for me.
How did you handle the people around you and the naysayers?
Well, man, sports has really helped me because it's made me very competitive. Like I like when people say I can't do something, that's like you like I go crazy like trying to prove it. So it was at one time I was doing the Southern soul music, and they were like, I had a song called "Swing Around the Rosie," and they'll be like, you could never top "Swing Around the Rosie" because it was so big
Yeah,
back at that time in 2005, 2004.
yeah.
And then I made Cupid Shuffle, and man, nine dance ain't gonna work, and this and that and this. So I'm one of them type. Like if the worst thing you can tell me is something I can't do.
Yeah. So line dance is like is very big in the South. So you chose a specific genre to kind of focus on with that. But the crazy thing is it has expanded to a worldwide audience. You know,
Yeah.
you pretty much brought a culture that was kind of subsection to uh, an area to an entire world. What was that
Yeah.
experience like to see your track actually blow up from the moment you made it to now?
Well, it was hard, man. I mean, 5, 6 years ago, could you imagine that all right would be line dancing? Like, I take my songs to radio and they would, we ain't playing that. That's garbage.
Yeah,
Or DJs, certain DJs, they still got DJs that's hard headed,
yeah,
talking about they don't be wanting to play line dance music and stuff like that. So you got all of that. And when the industry was being dominant without social media, they could kind of control what was going on. So I fought, man. I mean, 2007 is when Shuffle came out. So you talking about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, like all them years
mm,
of standing my ground and standing on business with what I do. It wasn't the easiest route at all. I mean, there's a lot of people who might watch this interview who can attest. Like I've had my CDs thrown in the trash can.
yeah.
Um, I've got called a one hit wonder so much is crazy. So I've fought through that, man, and so to see it now, it's kind of like in my competitive mode, like egg in their face.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it's just like this. God knew, God knew. He just wanted to see if I was gonna quit on
right.
the mission. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's important for everyone to hear is how you were tested on your journey and how you still prevailed through all of the nonsense that was coming your way. People
Yeah,
throwing your CDs in the trash, radio stations not playing the music, and you still, pushing through. I really think that's huge. And then, the athlete mindset, I think that really carries us in this entertainment business because you have to have a certain mindset to be able to navigate this business effectively.
yeah,
Uh, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so I applaud you for you being able to really break some barriers here, and lead in a new wave of people behind you. What are
Thank
some
you, man.
artists that inspired you?
My favorite artist in life is Frankie Beverly. Rest in peace, Frankie Beverly. Because what I liked about Frankie Beverly was that um all like 20 however many years,
Yeah,
like every time you saw him, it was like the same vibe, like that backyard barbecue vibe.
yeah,
So I always used to say I wanted to be like Frankie Beverly, as far as just the longevity and
yeah,
the substance in my music, being able to bring families and people together. I think I'm getting to that point, but Frankie Beverly is definitely one for sure. I'm a big fan of, Michael Jackson. I'm a big fan of all the R&B groups from the 90s. That's
yeah,
kind of why I sing so hard
yeah,
and so diligently on all these songs, even though people sometimes be like, "We ain't know you can sing."
yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm singing my tail off on Cupid Shuffle. You
Right,
know what I'm
right, right.
saying? But man, and it's just I'm a mixture of a lot of stuff. Cause being in Louisiana, you're in between Texas and New Orleans, and we got Zydeco music and bounce music and screw music and so much. So it's like a gumbo, man, and of just good feelings and good vibes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, Frankie Beverly is obviously a great person to be inspired by, and you can kind of hear, obviously, some influences in your music there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you released a new track called "Pop That Fan," man, and it's a dope track. It's a good vibe. Go ahead and talk about the creation of that song.
Man, when you go in a club these days, I guarantee you, if it's 100 women in there, 60 of them got fans in their hand.
Yeah,
So I wanted to make sure that we just, we give them something to just commemorate that. Like before COVID, man, being in the line dance community, I saw a lot of people carrying fans. And I just thought that it would be a good idea to create a song that kind of gives them that the ability to do a line dance with the fan. And it's really doing well. It got that DC go-go vibe
yep.
and it's doing well, it's climbing on the charts. And it's just another addition to the line dance, catalog that I just built. So it's doing really good.
Already. Yeah, no, that's a dope idea to be able to think of the women with fans in you know what I'm saying that because
Yeah,
that I mean that's a genre of people that are doing that, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I think it has to be dope to see like your music like influence people to dance and create dances and be able to vibe to parties. Like that's a good feeling. That's a good vibration that you're putting out to the earth.
That's the plan, man. It's just trying to make positive popular at some point. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think even with a lot of the artists that's on the mainstream, that message needs to be conveyed across the industry. Positivity needs to be popular with our music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Uh,
Right. And
so-
I want to lead the pack with that, man. Watching kids 5 years old, 15, 25, 55, 85,
yeah,
all celebrating, doing the same dance is something special, man.
absolutely. So Pop That Fan is obviously a popular track right now that you're pushing. So what's next? What's coming after this?
Well, we're gonna probably re-release Flex. And like remember when I was saying they used to call me a one-hit wonder? Like when I dropped Flex, we had to put that to rest because
Yeah, yeah,
Flex is probably one of the biggest line dancers in the world
yeah,
right now, and we haven't really given it its just due as far as like radio servicing and doing it. So we're gonna go ahead and put the whole momentum on Flex
yeah.
and reintroduce that to the world for people who might not know that record. But I got that on the way. I have a new EP in the fall coming. I call the Line Dance King. It's gonna be 10, I think 10 or 12 all party records.
Dope.
Party records. And you pop that in, man. You and the family, y'all can have a field day with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. We look forward to it. I already know it's gonna be dope. I mean, you produce nothing but hits. You know what I'm saying? So
Man, Tran.
what's it's got to be do you feel a pressure on yourself to constantly have to produce a hit after you've already produced so much?
Not no more. I used to, especially before I did Flex, because they used to. I used that one of the stuff used to bother me a lot. But now it's like Cupid Shuffle is the foundation to the Line Dance Kingdom, and everything that I do around it is just like like something that adds to it. So
Yeah,
there's a trick, man. There's an industry trick. The industry is gonna tell you you need to top your biggest song.
yeah,
And I watch a lot of artists go literally crazy trying to recreate lightning, but lightning don't strike twice in the same place.
right, right.
So, I once I realized that trick and was able to get over that, I'm like, nah, I just be having fun, dog. I write a song about anything.
Yeah,
Cause you never know, you know what I'm saying? I got a song with Big Pokey Bear called Cornbread and Greens that, is a Southern Soul hit. And
yeah.
it's like, it's going by cornbread and greens for real. So just have fun with it, bro.
Absolutely. That's a powerful message to make sure that artists are having fun and in their authenticity when they're creating. I think you
Right.
get the best results when you're creating from your true self rather than trying to produce a catchy song or a hit, you know,
Yeah.
out of the need for it. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Doing this, having fun. My kids are getting older. I got a junior in high school that's, he play basketball.
Yeah,
So, doing music gives me the freedom to be able to be to the games and all of that stuff. But doing this, man, making more music, having fun. Like I truly genuinely just enjoy being on stage and performing.
yeah,
So that's the plan. Like the next 5 years to be healthy,
yeah,
to be lively, to be, have the activity of my limbs
yeah.
and be able to go out there and just get people moving with this music.
Absolutely, absolutely. The goal is always to be healthy. I mean, health is the wealth, right?
Yeah, man, it's important.
Absolutely. Now, the music game has changed so much since you first started. And technology has aided that. It's ushered in a whole new generation of artists. It's ushered in a whole new wave of a new process of how artists are shown to the world. What are some tips that you can give artists that are coming out today so they can level up their career?
My thing is just be you. Like you can't be the next Lil Wayne. You can't be the next Ti. You can't be the next Tank. You can't be the next, Cardi B.
Yeah,
Be yourself. Because when you're the first of your kind, it's hard to duplicate. And when what you do starts to work,
yeah,
then you're gonna be ahead of the pack. That authenticity is just big. And I know the labels out there, they love to get carbon copies of stuff, but it doesn't give you any longevity. I've been doing this 17 years
yeah.
professionally in 23 years, just all the way through. And it's because I just never wavered. I never tried to be nobody else. I was like, I'm just Cupid.
Absolutely. Now, what stopped you from becoming a carbon copy in the industry? Because I'm sure there was opportunities and people trying to stray you into a different direction of your music.
Well, when that did happen, when I signed in 2007, I signed to Atlantic Record, I lost all my fans because all the people who was rocking with me from doing the stuff I was doing while I was independent. When I tried to switch up to the industry sound, it was like, nah, we ain't with that.
Yeah.
So when I ended up leaving the label, getting dropped from the label, I came home to discover that all my old fans they wasn't there no more.
That's
You know
crazy.
what I mean? Because I swear I switched up the game so much. So what I've learned is I learned that lesson the hard way. And so after that, I'm like, I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do this to game music the way I feel like doing it because I'm the one who got to tend to the fans at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I mean, that's real. Do you have any performances coming up?
I do, man. I'm in North Augusta, South Carolina on Saturday, Atlanta, Georgia, May the 3rd, Shreveport, May the 5th, I think. Oklahoma City on May the 4th. You can go to bandsintown.com/Cupid, and I got all my tour dates. But I work all the time, man. I pretty much do mostly just big festivals.
Yeah.
And man, the more chairs at my shows, you don't want chairs at my shows.
Right.
We need to be outside where we can get down and cut up and stuff. So, man, it's nonstop touring, man. I'm really working real hard this year, and I'm pretty sure I'll be in every state by the end of by December.
What's been your favorite place to tour?
Honestly, I did Saudi in September. I did the Middle East.
Dope.
And one of the most beautiful places I've ever performed in was Bahrain,
Okay.
in the Middle East. So I've done some stuff in the Middle East that was just mind blowing, man. Beautiful, beautiful. I performed in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Djibouti, Africa,
Yeah.
to name a few. So those were some really interesting places. In the States, honestly, I don't really have a favorite place, but I will say between Texas through the Carolinas, I'm the man. I'm the man.
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah.
gotta do too much work. Like we cause they line dancing strong, bro. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's definitely a good vibe, man. All my fans know what time it is when I pull up, and I always give them the best show that I can. So it's a good marriage when it comes to that.
Absolutely. Do you see yourself like performing like well into your later years or kind of settling down kind of in like the producer's phase?
As long as I can keep this health, man, and just jump around this stage all day, I don't have no plans on just chilling out because I would be bored. Like I couldn't see myself not, like I'm friends with Mr. Lenny Williams, who and Lenny is like Lenny made Because I Love You in 50 years ago,
Right.
and we still be on shows together. You know what I'm saying? So if it's what you're born to do, that's what I'm gonna do, man.
Yeah.
Producer role, man. I had to choke one of these young artists if I get like my son. He be recording, and I love him dearly, man. I
Yeah.
kind of let him do his thing because if I start giving him tidbits and
Yeah.
he don't listen, then I'm gonna be mad.
Right.
So
Right.
so I'm
Right.
like
Right.
I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
let me just support you, bro, and let you
Yeah.
do what you do.
Got to fall into their own creativity, you know what I'm saying, and find their own lane.
Gotta find his own lane, and me, I'm gonna come with my advice, and it might not work.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's dope though that he's picking up your gift and talent and using it for himself, in his own
It's
way.
pretty cool. And look, it's only been a year. Like
Yeah.
we was at an AAU tournament, and I saw him. They told me he was rapping on camera. I was like, what? I said,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And
Right, right.
next thing you know, he like, Dad, can you show me how to record? I'm like, come on.
Right,
So
right, right.
he doing his thing now.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome, man. Is there anything else outside of music that you're, focusing on or looking to do as well?
I got a couple of things, man. I have a book, man, on Amazon called Trust Your Gift.
Yes,
It
sir.
discussed like a lot of different things about trusting my gift and staying in my lane.
Yep.
It talks kind of about how in 2016 I had a stroke, man. I was going through a lot of stuff. So
Yep.
it talks about that. I also have a fragrance line called Bells and Bowls.
Dope.
We right now we're out of commission because we just had a big shipment. Everything's gone. But
Gotcha.
I dabble into a bunch of different things between those two. And yeah, again, it's just exciting, man. I try to venture off into stuff that not many people do,
Yeah.
and the fragrance is definitely one of them. The book is real a telltale, so y'all definitely go check it out and support that, man.
Absolutely. It's dope to see artists venturing out past music and venturing into music. What made you want to actually get into business and expand your territory there?
Well, man, generational wealth, man. You got to make sure that you leave something for the squad. So that, and then in your downtime, when you're not on the stage, you definitely want to be able to like have things to do. So I dabble off in a few things like that, man. But I enjoy the fragrance line. I enjoy the book, and then going out and talking about the book and telling people about it. So at the end of the day, man, it's just about generational wealth and growth as a person and as a businessman.
Absolutely. Now you went through the stroke, and I know that was a process of long-term healing for yourself. How did you overcome going through that?
That was all God, man, because fortunately my face didn't fall, but I did lose like 70% in my arm.
Yeah.
And my speech was altered. So I had to go to, like, I lip sang maybe about 6 weeks worth of shows.
Wow.
I just couldn't, I couldn't get my words together.
Right.
But through God, prayer, and work, man, I rehabbed it, and everything's good so far.
Hey, that's a blessing. And now you're releasing new hits. Pop That Fan is out, you know what I'm saying? And you're still able to promote the new book and tell your story and testimony
Right.
for someone else that's going through those situations as well.
For sure.
Absolutely. Go ahead and tell everybody where they can follow you, where they can find you, and where they can find your music.
Sure, man. It's newcupidonline.com is my website. That's New Cupid Online. Everything's there. Also, I live on Instagram. Like, I'm always on Instagram. So my Instagram is official New Cupid. And if you get a like or a comment or a DM, it's me for sure.
Hey, look, man, you guys heard from a legend today, one of the greatest out right now, a living legend, has inspired a generation. I know you guys have heard the song, you know what I'm saying? Do the Cupid Shuffle. It was a blessing to talk to you today, and we just thank you for gracing the show, with your presence and your excellence.
Man, blessings to you and the platform, man, and just to everybody that's tuned in. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all just keep on dancing.
Absolutely.
You're watching 24/7 Live Culture.